Well, Bob, here we are. Last game of the day. Game 4. And you know what? It's 6 o'clock and we're right on time. Exactly when this game was supposed to start, and we're just finishing up gear checks. The bench closest to our location.
We're finishing up beer checks?
Gear.
Oh.
Beer check is after this. And then there's a beer check.
Sorry.
OCDG.
Are they doing when they do a cup check and a beer check? I just want to know.
OCDG is the bench closest to us. It's the Oil City Derby girls. And then farther from us to the right on your screen is just, you can see the outer edge of the girls from Eville. Again, another team from Edmonton. This is Edmonton versus Edmonton. So looking at home on your screen, you've got Oil City in gray and Eville in green. And I think Oil's elected to kick off. Eville's going to receive the kick.
I'm watching. I'm sorry, but I'm totally enamored with the photographers taking a picture of that chair.
Actually, Bobby had a hot dog and he's got cramps. And he's just curled up in a ball there on the floor right now. Oh, it looks like he's going to be okay.
Yeah. don't do the brown acid.
It's only day 1 of Woodstock, Bob.
Yeah. You know, it's just kind of like, hey, still life. Yeah, that's pretty still, dude.
Yes, a little too still. He's got a new lens.
You know, if you'd only get a good picture of the announcers.
Yeah, where are the good
really
pictures of the announcers?
Important.
That's right, because we've got faces for radio, buddy.
That's right. I got a face for written materials myself. Now, and then we have.
Hey, Bob.
Wow. When Mac and I do this, you might think we're just sitting here kind of like yelling at each other, but we actually have headsets, and we got to say that,
we're talking quietly amongst ourselves.
That Mr. Capote and AJ have done a nice job of getting us all hooked up here, and all of a sudden we just got like this ambient blast, and we thought we were for sure sitting in the midst of a jet takeoff.
Yeah, I felt like I was at the airport there for a second, trying to get Bob out of customs.
That's right, because I don't have a very good record of that. I was a little nervous having to cross the border today or yesterday, but that's why I had.
Could you breathe in the trunk? Like, were you able to hold your breath that long when you crossed the border? Or was it the Mexican accent that delayed you at the border? So let's just run down the lineup here before the game starts.
That's just
For the Evil Dead, we've got D Vicious, Lady Sadista, Winnie the Puta, Kiss of Beth, Chasey Mame, Tron, Drag Strip, Dolly.
Can I say Winnie the Puta is maybe my favorite name out of the whole bunch?
Just wanted to mention, just so that you guys know, the Oil City team is called Damage Incorporated.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Oil City's name is officially Damage Incorporated.
Yeah, or D Inc.
Yeah.
Never mind. So, Tron, Dragstrip, Dolly, Cheeky, Commie, Peaches, Raspberry Rocket, Helen Keller, a member of Team Canada. Helen Keller, by the way. Portia de Saucy, Tough Love, Ghetto Rose, and Twiggy. And skating for...
I remember Twiggy.
Sorry. Skating for Oil City. What's her name again? Damage Incorporated?
Damage Incorporated.
Thank you, Bob. Try to keep up. Pressure, Vixen Von Bruisen, Blood Gin, Moxie Rolla, Jenny Bang Bang, Wrecker Ya, Rocky Road, Clumsy, Stitch Ripper, Ginger Rage, Bam Bam BJ, respect the pause, Jane Awesome, and Easy Break Oven. And you know what? I'm not familiar with every skater on both these rosters, but I do recognize a couple of names. One jammer to watch out for Oil City is Easy Break Oven. I've seen her break games open, no pun intended. Commie can have really strong games. D Vicious is a big leader out there as well. Cheeky, another big leader on that team. Helen Keller, really strong in the pack. I was really impressed with her with the Team Canada.
Yeah, her communication skills a lot, though.
Yeah, well, that's good. That's why you'll notice her because she's got a chalkboard around her neck when she skates out.
But I do remember Twiggy having some having success last year at the Best in the West.
Oh, that's right. Oh, you're correct. Good for you.
Yeah, I know.
You remembered a year ago.
I know. It's amazing. With all the damage I've done to myself, I still remember that.
Yeah, for what little's left, we're really proud of Bob.
Thank you.
That he just shows up places in the daylight without us having to call his parents.
That's right.
Hey, we're going to start. Kami skips out there with a big smile on her face, wearing the pivot stripe.
You know, I kind of miss. I like that name because when we were kids, it was like, whatever happened to the Cold War? When we used to just say, "What are you, a commie?"
I miss that too. Hey, look, it's Derby. Number 8, Tron, standing at the jam line for Evil in green, right next to Easy Break Oven. And we're going to get things started here as Edmonton takes on Edmonton. The easy part here, Bob, is you can always say Edmonton has lead.
There you go.
Oh, and it's a cluster start. It's a rugby scrum start, but Tron quickly comes out of that pack.
Wait a second. Did she open up a hole in the time and space continuum? Because she was in the second turn by the time Easy Bake Oven even got a step.
Yeah, I think it caused some global warming, actually. She went through there so fast. Takes a quick 4 and calls off that jam. Now, I mean, the one thing to notice is how quickly Easy Break got out and came through. They weren't holding her up too long, so we'll see how Oil City adjusts to the scrum starts. Does Evil want a scrum start the whole game? They started at the line. They're talking about it right now. Kami's out there again for a second jam in a row, and it's Winnie the Puta.
And Tigger, too.
And Stitch Ripper. Stitch Ripper for Damaged Inc., which is Oil City's travel team, and Winnie the Puta for Evil. That's the Oil City Jammer on your left in the gray.
Oh, Winnie the Puta stood up right at the very back of the pack, and look at that, the Evil Jammer, which is going to be Winnie the Puta, is through there without any problem. Whoa. That's as close to getting a little tough love as we're going to get.
Yeah, and I think tough love just got a major for that, just being sent off, because that contact went a little bit off the track.
Yeah.
And under our table.
Almost. Oh, my goodness, and we got another girl out into the barrier. That's going to be Stitch Ripper.
Yeah, she's already been nailed twice heavily by Evil blockers at the back of the pack. Some big hits in the back of that pack, and Evil's just setting up in the back.
Oh. And, of course, turning around, leveraging her, hitting her face, hitting her head to head, or shoulder to shoulder, I should
again,
say.
Stitch has had to get off the ground a third time, and it's tiring when you're out there in a jam to have to get up that many times, especially first jam, just starting the game here. Evil's already run up with a 14-point lead, and Winnie the Puta is going to take another handful of points and call it off. Nice skate by Winnie the Puta, jamming for Evil.
Yeah, I tell you, Winnie the Puta doing a nice job, but at the same time, the defense just absolutely laying the lumber to Stitch Ripper.
Yep.
And, that really has to send a message. Anytime that you're able to do that to a jammer, it's one thing, but on your first run, that has to be more demoralizing than at any other time. So we've got Tron and Clumsy. Clumsy.
You're looking for, there's actually more on that shirt.
Yeah, that's why I was.
It says Clumsy. That's what we're going to go with on our sheet until someone proves us otherwise. Feel free to text Bob at
that's okay.
Pizza 222.
Clumsy
Lover, 69.5. 69 and a half.
Shouldn't be
Clumsy
so hard.
Lover.
Yeah.
I get it. It's a pun. Tron right back out there again. Back Tron. Oh, that was Winnie the Puta that had all the points. Tron just shoving her way through her own line.
Yeah, they didn't open up the door for her. She opened up the door for them.
Yeah, she kicked the door in.
Oh, wow.
Nice work at the back again. Right, really strong D at the back of that pack, holding up. Clumsy Lover, number 69 and a half. But they managed. Looks like Oil City managed to draw a major on the jammer, Tron, who's heading to the box right now. Didn't quite catch the call. We'll see if I can pick it up. But that gives an opportunity for, more big hits to be thrown on the Oil City Jammers. They're really taking a pounding in this green pack. They've got to help get their jammers out. Cheeky does a nice job, the captain of Evil, to push her out and run back and forcing her all the way back. And again, when they indicate the no pack, that jammer's got to come in quicker because she's got a free. Well, she's got to come in the back still, but she could come in front of that person and knock her out.
And I think what we're seeing here is just the classic, we're going to play defense and let our jammers fend for themselves. And I think that may work against a team like this, but that's not going to work when you get up into the top 2 or 3 teams, at least the kind of play that we're seeing.
Yeah, and you know what? It's tournament play. You need to win a game to play tomorrow. And if you want to go to the bracket and go to the final, you got to win those games.
Yeah.
Throwing some big hits.
But it's just kind of interesting because we were talking about earlier. We were talking about the transition speed of Kootenay and the transition speed of Vancouver, and their ability to play, defense and offense at the same time when they have to. And of course, I mean, it's not like we haven't seen great teams that have fantastic defenses that really don't do much for their jammers. But it looks like if it's going to force them into fouls like this, it's going to be a problem.
Easy Break Oven, the only jammer out there. Is a power jam opportunity here for Oil City. They need to take advantage of. Easy Break gets a nice pick at the inside, goes to lane 4 and gets outside. Tron back on the track though, so Tron needs her initial pass. Easy Break Oven, who's just coming up through lanes 1 and 2 towards the pack. She's going to get a chance to get some points here and get that goose egg off the board for Oil City.
Look at that. And Easy Bake Oven, she's got a whole bunch of damage ink in front of her, and she's got one to beat. And I think she juked and actually saved herself, not even seeing that hit coming. And right there, Tron's going to pass her. She's got to take the inside move. And
but she's given up those points, right? Tron,
look at that. Tron almost into the statistician's table, which is even further than ours.
Yeah, maybe they're going for farthest jammer today.
Could be. It's like a jammer toss.
Closest to the middle.
We've heard of a hammer toss.
Yes, I have, Bob.
It's that thing you do when you get mad when you're working in your basement.
Stitch Ripper back out there after that first jam where she took a bit of a pounding. Let's hope she has a little bit better path and a little more help. Lady Sadista on her left.
And we're going to get a very slow pack move, but we're going to use the pivot line. Why not? Because we put it there.
It's interesting, though. Oil City drags it out, but they don't reform a wall. They just kind of drag it into the pack, and don't think that's to their jammers' benefit, but I'll give them credit now. They've walled up now. They've got a lot less daylight at the back of the pack.
Oh, my. That's number 44 right there. That's Wrecker, yeah.
And she will.
Yes, she will.
You want to skate quickly around her.
And there we go, though. It's going to be Evil one more time.
With the lead.
And that's Lady Sadista. It's a river, yeah. It's back at Bam Bam's. It's a good thing that, you always want materials that you want a outfit made out of stretchy material.
Quality Canadian cotton. Had that been American cotton, I think it would have torn off in her hands.
Oh, Stitch Ribia again takes a huge shot. That's going to be D-Vicious.
Yeah, but D's going off for a low block major. It might have been some contact after the hit. The hit looked clean,
so.
But I think, and that happened earlier in the game where the skater that got knocked down got the low block because her leg touched the skater skating by. That's all it takes. It's just the contact. So,
and with that jam, let's throw it up to Andy and see what Andy's got for us.
And the jammers are away for the next jam. Oh, thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy.
That was fabulous. If you'd like transcripts at home, please take a blank piece of paper out of your printer and put it on the counter. And
right.
Braille versions will be
That's
made
right.
available, and copies for the deaf.
Just
Andy's interesting interviews throughout the weekend.
Just fax it to 1-800-000-0000. And that was a very quick jam.
And it's already 45-7 for Evil.
And Stitch Ripper, if nothing else, she is tenacious.
Yeah, there she's shaking off the last few hits, getting herself ready. That or the medication hasn't kicked in. But I think she's just getting herself ready up against Tron.
Well, Tron, of course, the first one to that she faced off against, and she took quite a bit of abuse from.
Cheeky and Helen Keller slow starting the pack to get their pivot out of the box. D-Vicious. And now Oil City content, and I don't understand why they want to be with being behind by 41 points. They actually want a quick start to packs.
Oh my goodness! Somebody totally got run over in the backstretch. And Tron once again is off to the races while Stitch Ripper is trying to hang on to anything that she can get.
And Dee's heading off for a quick second major there. One area that the team with the lead this early in the game does not want to get into is penalty trouble early in the game. They want to settle down, maintain that control that they're showing.
And Tron knocked out of bounds. We're going to step back into it.
Stitch Ripper just got a major because she's stepped in front of two green skaters that were behind her. She gives a kippy-aye to the sky, but she's off for a major. She hasn't recognized the call yet from the ref. Jeff Demis continues to send her off, and now she's off.
Oh, and
with a little help. Just some help, just a little love tap to make sure go to the box.
Yeah.
That's all it was.
Exactly. And Tron going to come around the outside. She's going to take a shot, but it's not going to be enough to do a whole lot. Anytime that you've got that kind of speed mismatch, if you don't wall something up, there's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah. Too many teams in the box, too many skaters in the box for both teams to start. Sometimes typical of a Oil Evil game where people want to get a few shots in, or they start to push a little or reach for some hits as well too. We'll put you there because we've got D-Vicious in there, the pivot, Stitch, the jammer, another blocker in there for Oil City. Where the score is in this game right now, Oil City needs 5 skaters on the track between those red lines. We've got to tighten things up here. Oh, and a free pass given.
Yeah, this is not exactly what Damage Inc. was looking for.
Forearm major called on Winnie the Puta, and she missed the line when she slid in. She has to go all the way around again to return.
And that's going to be, that's like adding 30 seconds to your penalty right there.
Well, at least 10 because she's got to sit as long as the Oil City jammer was sitting, so she's getting at least an extra 10 seconds for that lap.
And so Stitch Ripper is going to come back out of the box. She's looking for some help from her team.
Yeah, now Oil City's got some pack differential here. They've got all their skaters out. It's time for them to set up and take advantage of a power jam. Looks like they're trying to trap or slow that pack down. Obviously, that's what everyone attempts to do. Different styles of doing it. Their choice is to just push here and give an outside lane to Stitch.
My goodness. Yeah, but Stitch Ripper not having any luck at all as far as just finding a hole to shoot through. Somebody's always there to close it up, and they hit her hard.
Yeah. Hard. Jammer standing now for Evil. That's Winnie the Puta coming out of the box now. See if Oil City recognizes and reforms their wall. Not quick enough. Look at Winnie the Pooh to just race down the inside.
Oh, and there's a little Walenda in that girl. She's able to stay right along the tightrope, the inside.
Yeah, she just rode that tape, stayed in bounds. Lots of speed coming in. They're going to wall up in front of her and try to slow her, but now they're going to get out of play. And they are, right? So free pass again. As Stitchy's just having a tough time getting through this pack today.
Did she get...
No.
I lost her.
61-7, you can see on the scoreboard at the bottom of your screen for Evil.
And you know what? If I'm going to name myself, I would just take my name and then put Awesome behind it. I think that's cool.
Bob Awesome?
Oh,
or Awesome Bob?
Jane Awesome just stepped up, and I like that.
Coach Pauly likes Bob because he just texted me to say, hey, say hi to Noxious for me. I'm watching and listening to you guys in Edmonton right now.
I miss Paul.
He was unable to get down here just from timing and scheduling. I know he'd love to be here, but he wanted to make sure he give you a shout out and say hi.
That's awesome. And look at that. And from Evil, that's going to be C4. And again, because she's explosive, it's Lady Sadista.
Very quickly out of that pack and still battling away in the pack, Jane Awesome.
And Jane Awesome really being shut down. This Evil defense really has played incredibly well. There's no question about it.
Well, and they're doing a nice job of cycling in front of that Oil pack and just slowing them down and really putting their control on this pack right now.
Well, I think the other thing we're seeing, too, is they're starting to seal them in one direction or the other, which is helping the Jammers out quite a bit. Oh, she hit the right player? I'm not sure.
There's a lot of players going down. Evil with 2 in the box. Oh, that should be a major on the skater that was skating in the reverse direction. See if they call it. It looked to me like a Evil skater was skating in the opposite direction. And ran into an Oil City skater.
Evil skaters always do.
And unfortunately, the Jammer, unless maybe that was off the track and out of bounds from our angle here, we didn't see it, but the refs are right on top of it. So, but the Jammer for Oil City in the box must have been that contact she made. He's trying to skate back to cut in. Tried to skating back to get in behind the pack, made contact, got sent off for a major. Tron's out there by herself.
And this is certainly not the bout that we expected with a 76-7.
No, not this
lead.
quickly. But you know what? Full credit to Evil. They're here to reclaim that title. Not reclaim, to maintain that title, because they're coming into this as the holding the trophy for last year in Kelowna for this tournament.
Yep, you're right. And excuse me, Tron doing a nice job. Tron has actually been pretty spectacular.
Yeah, really solid, good track awareness too. She's getting knocked out, but she's patient. Take a lap with some pounding, but really patient. Get out of the pack. She's got lead. Now you got control when you got lead.
Well, and the thing that I like about her is when you got a jammer like her, she's kind of that Shanita Stretcher, Teflon Donna type, where you can put her out here and she can make things happen, blocking for herself. There's no question.
Yeah. And big enough to be able to just take the hits and keep going and bounce off of skaters and use those hits to keep going too. Yeah, hard to control. She's through again for another grand slam. Oil City Jammer back out on the floor. Nice move, nice race up the inside, untouched. That's Jane Awesome. Now she's back out there. Tron's going to say, okay, I got my grand slams. We'll shut that down.
Yep. Take
my points back to the bench. I've been watching, though. Evil's had a few skaters go to the box. They want to be, again, got a lot of control in this game, 74-point lead, 10 minutes left in the first. It's really theirs to undo. They want to get those trips to the box settled in, right? Everyone's got their hits in, everyone's got their yayas out. Let's just play between the tape and finish this game. Oh, a man went skipping through the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, he did. I don't think his yayas were out.
Well, that's the clothed streaker of the Westerns. You'll see him often running around, fully clothed streaker.
Yeah, we try to, when you try to cater to a family audience, you have to put limits on some of that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can streak, but you can't be naked.
Well, initially, he did apply as a unitard streaker, but it got voted down to fully clothed streaker. So watch for him often during the weekend as he skips and dances his way around the fully clothed streaker. Oh, a huge hit. Whoa. B pressure just came in and lowered the boom on Winnie the Puta. Winnie the Puta got slammed there. She was going to look for like Piglet and Eeyore to help get her off the floor, but she got up on her own and skated the bench. That was a huge hit. She came across the track and nailed her.
Wow. You win. The unitard streaker. Oh my goodness. All right, we're gonna see Tron and Stitch Ripper, and Stitch Ripper has yet to come out on the positive end of this matchup.
No, you know what? She's got to get lead and get out of this pack. Her pack's got to give her some help too. I mean, they got to recognize, and I'm not sure again why they want to stretch out this. Oil City needs to like fast start these jams and try to get lead because if you're giving up points, you might as well quick start these jams and use the time that's left. Tron, nice work on the inside. D. Vicious did a great job. Her and Helen Keller, a really solid wall at the front. No jammers getting around those two this evening.
And Stitch Ripper that time looks like she gets her feet caught up in the pack. She ends up taking a dive to the inside.
Well, that's D's third or fourth major already, and we're.
You think that was a tripping call?
No, that was a high block, I believe.
And
that was a signal, anyways, from the referee.
Sorry, but that was Stitch Ripper with about her fifth trip into something beyond the 10-foot circle.
Yeah, unfortunately, Stitchy's covered more ground vertically than around the track in this first period, just from the hits she's taken. I got to give her all the credit in the world because I would hand that star to someone else when they came to the bench.
Yeah, exactly.
And there she is, right back out there again. And Oil City, talking to some of the players, or Damage Incorporated. Was it Damage Inc.?
Damage Inc.
New skaters, changes in their lineup, so they know they're in hard for it today.
And for just a second there, Clumsy goes down. Stitch Ripper it kind of looked like the animal that was on top of the ball running around. She kind of did it was almost like a circuit strike.
Well said, Bob.
I've never seen it quite like it.
No, it's like the theater of my mind. I could picture it just momentarily there. Yeah. 96-7, Evil up on Oil City here. Last game of today. Winner of this game plays the Terminal City All-Stars tomorrow at 2 o'clock. And by the shades of things, I'd say it's going to be Evil and Terminal City, which is going to be an exciting game. I'll be looking forward to that game.
I bet you'll be coaching.
Well, I'd like to. That'd be fun if I could coach that.
Oh, and there we go. Jane Awesome's going to find some room on the inside. And we haven't said this too often in this game, but the lead jammer is going to go to Damage Inc.
Yeah, nice to see. And they've still got the Oil City jammer tied up, so that's giving the Evil jammer tied up, which is giving lots of time for Jane to get back to this pack. But now she's got to contend with these green walls that have been really tough. And D. Vicious out of the box is trying to really force her to work to get around her, because it's going to be really tough for Jane Awesome.
Oh, I tell you, and D. Vicious is amazing. I mean, she's been brutal this entire bout.
And she's going again for another major. Problem is she may not see the end of this bout, because that's about number 5, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right.
It's one thing to play edgy, but it's one thing to play off the edge, not over it, because that's 5 major. You get to a point where those are controllable majors, that's going to take a really strong blocker out of your game. Or if she gets to 6 this early in the game, now she's going to be worried about minors and start thinking too much, because you really want skaters just to play, not to start thinking about majors and minors. Right?
Just from the way she's smiling and everything else, I don't think she's concerned about it.
Well, it's 109, I think.
In some ways, I think they feel like, I think she feels like, and they probably feel like that she's done what they need her to do, and if they lose her, they lose her.
Yeah, they got a 90-point lead. Right, with in 25 minutes, they've scored 100 points. So at that rate, it's a gap already that Oil City's going to struggle to close, because they're not getting lead often enough. And look at that, the Evil Jammers are having their way with going through the back and collecting those points.
Yeah, Winnie the Puta right there. Going to put 4 more up on the board.
Yeah, she's having a good game, good skater.
Yeah, she is. her and Tron really carrying the weight offensively.
It's Stitchy. Come on, Stitchy. This is the time.
Exactly.
Stitch and Tron again on the line. We want to see Stitch get out of this pack and get lead. I think the whistle went. Yes, it has. So everyone's just kind of clomping around and waiting for things to happen. I guess they're trying to kill the clock. And again, here's where Oil should fast start the pack, because now they've given enough time for Evil to get D back on, who's been a wrecking ball out there, and making jammers. She just got a fourth minor, Tron.
Yep. She gets
opportunity here for Stitch. Needs some help from her pack, but she's got to go through a few people to get there. Stitch gets out. She's got lead.
Oh, my, and she's into another barrier.
If she hits one more, we all take a drink, right? Actually, if she hits the one by the Cliff Bars, she gets a free box of Cliff Bars, and it's like a baseball game.
I think she should. She deserves it.
She's got to be the hardest working skater in Oil City today. Like, I'm not kidding. For what she's going through physically and having to deal with D, who's just sitting back there, swinging back and forth like a hammer, making life miserable.
Nice little move that almost pries the inside open for her.
And then she gets past D, and now she's got to deal with Kami, right? And Kami knocks her out. And gets knocked out herself. Nice job by Bam Bam to clear that hit and quit move. But guess what? Stitch is at the back of the pack again with lead. Some whistles blowing, waiting to see who's being sent off. Sounds like a penalty's being called. Yeah, back of the pack. I think that might be Bam Bam. Have to see. Yeah, that's 88 Bam Bam. Stitch has said that's enough.
That's a lot of abuse for one half.
Let's see if she can get, did she get one on that? Did we get over to get the double digits? It's 104-9 for Evil.
And sometimes the hardest part is just getting to the jam line.
Speaking of getting to the jam line, here's Oil City's opportunity, right? There they go. That's what they should be doing. Start fast. Start these packs, because it's
Jesus.
Because Jane Austen's out there, and unfortunately so is Tron. And look at Oil City's not paying attention in the back, and they're giving Tron a free pass.
Bye.
Someone's got to keep an eye on those things. That's what costs you. That's what costs you time and game, and a lot of it's track awareness, experience. And again, Oil City working with a lot of changes in the roster and some newer skaters working together. Another major, Tron off for another major. Tron and D have been taking far too many trips to the penalty box for a game with this level of control. And I think that was a destroying the pack or out of play. It might have been an out of play contact at the back. She was just on the edge of the engagement zone.
There's a major forearm that's given to Recria. And Jane Awesome with a major track cut. And unfortunately, that doesn't work out too awesome for them.
Well, the packs are just waiting now to see who's coming out, and it's Tron. Tron gets a turn now. Let's see if we can get a jammer through here for a couple laps without taking a major. Tron with a head of steam just walks into that pack.
Oh, and I tell you right there, you talk about track awareness. That was so close, and maybe she even took a chance on that. But when she had that collision, that skate was so close on the other player to going out. It was hard to even tell from here whether or not she was going to get called on a track cut or not. But look at her just slice through that pack like it's nothing.
There are a lot of penalties being called there. Both teams now taking their fair share of majors. I wouldn't even say fair share, too many. Helen Keller does a nice job of a hit and quit, knocking out number 12. That looks like Moxie Rolla. Helen Keller trying to set up a goat there, so knocks her out of bounds so everybody can fall back and form up, but the jam ran out. It's 114-9 for Evil. Evil in green Oil City in gray. This is the last game today of the first bracket for the Klash and the Kootenays, the Western Canadian Championships, the best in the West. Bob, don't do that, okay?
Yeah. And this is probably going to be the last jam. After this, though, we're going to go to Andy. We understand that Andy's got somebody from Terminal City to talk to.
Oh, okay.
And
so after this jam, we'll throw it up to Andy to see who she's got up there in the audience. It's probably the Terminal City mascot, Termy. Or termite. I think he's a giant guy. It's a guy in a giant termite suit.
There you go. I hope it's not a unitard. And
well, that's the fully clothed streaker.
Yeah, Winnie the Pooh
as lead, calls it off. So let's go up to Andy Struction up in the stands with someone from Terminal City. Andy, take it away.
I'm here with some of the players from the Terminal City All-Stars out of Vancouver, British Columbia. In particular, I'm sitting with blocker Flower Plower. How are you doing, Flower?
I'm awesome, thank you.
So let's talk a little about the game you had earlier today. You guys went up against the 8th seed Deathbridge from Lethbridge. The final score is 403-37. What do you think was the major key to your gigantic victory from that game?
I think we all kind of agreed to play as a team tight and to really keep our four walls tight and focus on defense and really focus on not letting anybody get through us and just, preventing any points from being scored. And I think we were pretty successful at that.
I would say you were, absolutely. So now that you're watching this Edmonton versus Edmonton action, I think it's pretty safe to say you guys will be playing Evil tomorrow. So how does this team look to you? What do you think is what's their strong suit right now?
Well, they're heavy hitters, that's for sure. So we'll have to have eyes on the back of our head. And I can really appreciate how it looks like they're playing tight as well. They've got good communication. They've already looked like they have their walls going down. So really, I think it might just come down to who can have better tight walls.
Yeah, it sounds like it's going to be defense versus defense tomorrow for you guys. Yeah. All right, well, thanks, Flower. Thanks, Terminal City. Good luck tomorrow. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Andy.
Thanks, Andy. That's Andy up there in the stands with Flower Plower. I can see Sissy Straight Edge and Roller Girl sitting next to us as well, too. So they're up there watching the tail end of the game, and we're just giving them a big wave that nobody on TV can see. So it's not that interesting for you, but I'm enjoying it quite a bit, and so is Bob. He's actually quite mesmerized by my hand waving in the air right now. Bob, try to pay attention.
Yeah. Well, and I'll tell you, one thing I have to say is that, I think maybe I should be sitting with one of your girls and talking about Derby because they're pretty smart.
Yes, they are.
No, I got to give you some credit. You're not only a good coach, but you actually get them to understand it, and they can really talk about it. And that's
yes. You know what?
You've got smart girls on that team.
But it's it's track awareness and keeping things. It sounds crazy. It sounds the standard stuff, but it's keeping it simple and track awareness, right? And teamwork and trust. And it's all easy to say, but it's basics. A lot of work. Yeah, it is. It is. It's the situational strategy stuff we see now that happens. Where'd everybody go? Is it halftime?
Yeah, it is, actually.
I just noticed there's nobody on the track.
Sorry,
Bob, there's nobody on the track.
Yeah, there's still people in the building.
The situational stuff that you see teams playing now is really because they've nailed down the basics of transition and teamwork to a level that they can toggle those things back and forth as a unit.
Yeah.
And that really, honestly, that becomes the difference. And when everyone gets at that higher level of play, it's even more noticeable when it gets to power jams, because that you mentioned earlier, and that'll become the change in very two equally matched teams. It's how many points you end up after power jams. It tends to be the difference maker at the end of the game.
Yeah, well, and but I think that the greatest thing in all of that is, like you said, you can toggle that on or you can toggle that off. But the thing that we see too many teams do is they get caught up in that after a while, and then the rest of the play gets sloppy. And then it's almost like every other year you can take a look at the WFTDA, playoffs or whatever playoffs and say, ooh, this is really an off year for basics. Oh, this is really a heavy year for good basic play.
So let me ask you a question, Bob. Talking WFTDA with the regionals coming up, and this is the quarter that counts for everybody for rankings to stay in their positions and finish top 10. The rule set changed that everyone was expecting to come out, and the rumor was that the minors were going to go away and only majors were going to be called, has now been delayed for a couple of months, is the wording out of WFTDA.
Yeah.
So why do you think that is? Do you think that's about avoiding having significant change impact the regionals, or they just don't feel they've got what they want to roll out yet.
Well, what I took from it was this. What I took from it was there was not an overwhelming confidence in how that vote was going, and the fact that they didn't want to take that and then roll it out into the regionals. I mean, because historically speaking, they've always done this with enough notice that everybody's had time to practice it before, like the ECDX.
Yep.
And without the ability to do that, I mean, you open up a whole can of worms and you're not sure what you're going to get.
There's a double-edged sword to that, though, for me, because I believe that this slow derby and even some of the, the controlling the speed of the pack, because the game is mostly driven by who's at the back and how fast they're skating, I'm concerned of what the skill level is going to get pulled away from the game, because those couple of strategies are going to dominate, and we're not going to see people just get to go and play and put their true skill on the floor because 4 skaters stand in lane 4 and clomp their feet while their jammer pushes the wall out of play. Like, it's not conducive to 10 skaters giving their all and playing and showing their skills, right?
Well, no, you're right, and that's what the test games had showed us, was that if you played it, if you played it true to what it was meant to do, it was probably a good thing. If you used it, in any other way, not that anybody ever looks at loopholes in the rules and how they're used.
I don't know what you're talking about. Are there loopholes?
But if you used it to, like you say, push people outside the zone of engagement, then all of a sudden we've got a whole new mess on our hands.
Yep. So it's, you know what? And again, our sport, this version of our sport is 10 years old.
Yeah.
Basketball, 100 years. Hockey, 70 years. Football, 100 years.
Yeah.
They went through these iterations.
What about Canadian football?
Over 100 years.
Really?
Yeah, the Grey Cup. I'll tell you about it sometime. Same color as my hair.
You have?
The iterations of our sport have exponentially actually changed faster than these sports that we're seeing around us.
That's a great point.
Because the NFL is in a groove where their tweaks are so minor, it's tiny little things. We're not there yet. Our sport is still going to have more iterations. I just like to see WFTDA or someone in that position of power or control to make the change, stand behind it, make another one, stand behind it. I'd rather have continual changes, not every month, but enough to keep moving the ball forward to get to that point. Not wait till regionals are over, because I'm looking forward to, and I'm a little concerned about what regionals are going to look like this year because of some of the strategy I'm seeing.
Yeah, I don't know. Actually, to me, this year seems a little bit, at least from what I've seen at like Brouhaha and places where you've had kind of a preview of what some of the regions might look like. I mean, Brouhaha was almost a preview of the North Central Regionals, and the skating was surprisingly, although the North Region is known to be less of the flavor of the day kind of rules or whatever you want to call it, but it was pretty straightforward skating. The scrum starts, which honestly I don't really have that big a problem with, was a big part of it. But I mean, we really saw some pretty straightforward skating. We saw some amazing skating out there. It was fantastic. 3 Canadian teams, by the way: Toronto, Hamilton, and Tri-Cities. Tri-Cities, who I think a lot of people are probably overlooking. That won't be next year. But the North Central's good. There's going to be a Canadian invasion into the North Centrals, I think, by Toronto and potentially by Tri-Cities and potentially Toronto next.
And the Terminal City Roller Girls, too, by the way.
But they're not in the North Central.
Well, we're stuck in the West. And guess what? It's a hard mountain to climb. Let me tell you about it. We went from 23 to 16 in the first quarter ranking. 7 spots was a huge move for us. And now we're being projected to be in the high teens, maybe. Because in this quarter that they haven't accounted for yet, Santa Cruz, Silicon, and our game against Rat City are the ones they're going to look at.
Yeah.
So we were projected to lose to Rat City on like a 10-1 margin, and we lost just over 2-1. So we felt really good coming out of that game, how we played. So it's going to be interesting.
Yeah.
Really excited. I don't think we're not going to get there for regionals this year, but we're going to be knocking on the door. So next year, we're going to kick that door in.
Yeah. Well, no, seriously, congratulations on a great season. I think that's spectacular, and it shows that announcers are smarter than they may look.
Yep.
Yep.
Well, I think the really smart part is I don't think any of this has been broadcasted right now. I think they shut us off a while ago, but we just like the sound of our own voices.
Yeah, that's true.
Actually, I'll tell you what. If you can still hear us there, just shake your computer screen because we'll see it here on the live feed. Or put your hand in front of your No?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If you're watching if you're on black and white TV, I'd be the guy in the gray
Rob's the
coat.
one with the hair.
Yeah.
No hair.
And
Hair.
I got lots of hair now.
That's because my brain pushed it all out because it's so big.
Yeah, and I've killed a lot of brain cells.
Fair enough. That's why your hair is getting longer every time I see
That's
you.
right. I'm working myself. Well, I was coming to Canada, and I thought the almost mullet was, the way to go.
The almost mullet?
Yeah.
The all mullet? The almost mullet.
The full mullet.
The quasi mullet. The partial. The full mullet.
Let's let people, take a chance to get something to eat.
Yeah.
Before they change the channel. And
let's all get something to eat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got 28 seconds left. You know what? If anything, they're all hanging on the edge of their seats, listening to us. As the teams get back out on the floor here, we're just the final seconds counting down of this break, and we're going to have a visual gear check, and we're going to get the show on the road for the second half of this game, Oil City and Evil.
And right now we were watching the two teams from Edmonton. We were watching Evil against Damage Inc. And if you're tuning in for the second half, you're watching us, of course, on Connect Derby TV. And right now we've got a score of 122-9. And I would say that, Mac, that was not something we expected, was it?
No, not at all. I was quite surprised. I thought Oil City would put up more of a battle than a 9-point game, but I got to give full credit to the transition from offense to defense that we're seeing with Evil. They've got some really strong pack play where they're just staying together and playing strong walls. So, and some huge hits have been thrown out in that first half, which kind of takes the steam out of the Oil City Jammers as well too.
Oh, and they have absolutely taken the steam out of the Oil City or Damage Inc.
Yeah, sorry, Damage Inc.
Jammers. And as we get ready to go here, we're going to see Easy Break Oven and Tron. Personally, always amazed at the fact that you could actually make a brownie under a light bulb.
One of the mysteries of life.
That's right. Oh, Easy Break Oven she must have had organ lessons at one time. She knows how this one goes.
And Easy Break's had some success today, but just not picking up the points that she normally does. Nice work.
Oh, nice move off the start right away. That's going to make Tron ineligible for lead jam. And come out with a little bit of attitude. I like that as we see both of the jammers right now break away from the pack. Remember that it is the Damage Inc. jammer in the gray and black. That is actually your lead jammers. They hit the pack, Mac.
Oh, easy break. Goes down hard at the back of the pack. Actually, it looks like Tron was inside the engagement zone when she got knocked out of bounds, which does not relinquish her opportunity to get lead jammer. So, easy break there. Spins around in front of us, takes a cut, and it looks like it may be a cut major. It is. She's off to the box as easy break oven, the jammer for Damage Inc.
And Tron right now doing what she has done the entire game. She is just eating up concrete, and she is going to end up coming into a very much stopped wall that left a hole wide open on the outside.
Yeah, because again, that green wall has trapped a skater at the back, clumsy lover, trapped behind that wall, so they've got pack control when they're back there.
Oh, look at that. Once again, Mac, they totally forced Damaging to the inside, leaving the outside open for Tron. She just skates around without any problem.
Another blocker joins her at the back. She back blocks her own skater. That shouldn't count. That's okay. You're allowed to abuse your own skaters. As Tron is now looking for a little help to grab somebody for a whip. She gets it. Nice. Keeps her balance on the inside lane there. Bounces off an Oil City skater to get out of that back and catches another grand slam.
And I tell you, she is relentless, and she is tireless, too.
Yep.
It's amazing how many reps that she has had, and yet she continues to skate. And skate she does, right back into the pack one more time. She's going to run the gauntlet. She has got two to beat. She's going to try to cut a wedge, and she's going to pass two of them and call it off.
Easy break oven, got back out. She might have picked up some points. Looks like she got 3. And I think finally Oil City's going to break into double digits here after that first period of scoring 9 points.
Look at Stitch Ripper. She's just like, that's okay, bring it on. I don't care.
Yeah, let's do
and
some
that's
more.
Awesome.
4 points there for Easy Break Oven, almost half the total of the first period. They put on the board very early here. Good for Oil City to get 13. Get some points on the board early is exactly what they need. Winnie the Puta, who's had a very good day today as well, too, and Stitch Ripper, mine and Bob's personal favorite, to see her get out of that back and get some points for Oil City. She's working so hard.
Yeah, she deserves to have a good run here. She's going to hit the pack. Look at Stitch Ripper going to try to go out to the outside. She's going to slip inside, and she's got, does she get it? I think she got it.
Yeah, she got lead. She's the first one out. She should be calling it. Now would be the time to call it because the points are coming the other way as the Oil City Jammers now already coming up to the back of the pack, and Stitch actually hasn't passed.
Oh,
there she goes.
And it looks like she might have gotten it off just in time, and probably more by luck. Honestly, I think part of the problem there was she was so caught inside the pack she couldn't even look over to see what was going on.
When she looked up, she was getting hit. She had to stay focused on what she was doing. Kamikaze there at the bench directing her skaters.
We're going to see Twiggy.
It's about time.
It's
Twiggy
the third time we've seen Twiggy. She could be out there against Jane Austen.
Now with a 137-point lead, I think it's time to jam down your bench.
And now I remember why she's called Twiggy. Her and Stitch Ripper should have a twig off.
Yes.
And they're off. Off they are. And Twiggy, look at that. She's going to come to the outside.
She gets it. Nice work by Twiggy. I thought she was going to lose that speed there and duck back in.
Yeah, I thought you were right. I thought the same thing. And Twiggy going to come up behind the back right now. She's going to slice to the inside, back to the outside, and she's got a nice duck under right there, man.
That was very nice. She's bopping up and down. You watch her. She makes herself tall and small as she comes through the pack, drops out of their vision, and pops back up again. Look at her, see? Popping up and down. Oh.
Well, she got caught up in some skates, it looks like, and she gets up off the ground for a second there. It looked like she was kind of slow to get back up.
She's trying to get herself down to absorb hits or stay low, which is good because of her size and form. It's a great idea.
Yeah, she's just got to get that leverage just a little bit different.
Pack has come to almost a complete halt in turn 2. Turn 1, turn 2. Twiggy continues to try to get her way out. Now she got a cut major, and off she goes. Didn't quite make it on that corner. Got to skate outside the lines, came back in. Couldn't hold it. And because the jammer is standing, Jane Awesome, it looks like Twiggy's going to get a full minute in the box.
Yep. And now it's going to be Jane Awesome's turn at it as Twiggy was able to put up 11.
So now Oil City trying to play some power jam strategy here by sitting back a bit. Now that looks like they're going to come in and give her some help. But it's Jane Awesome at the back still. And last time I think Oil City didn't have as much luck on a power jam. We're hoping to get to see them get a few more points to get that jammer around for a couple of laps. Time runs out. However, they will start the next jam with a power jam as well.
Yeah. Well, and what I think part of the problem here, Mac, is sometimes is I take a look at what Demolition Inc. is doing, and I think, what have you committed to exactly? It looks like they almost kind of start one strategy and then they kind of let it go, and they don't have a specific game plan that they're adhering to when they get into some of these scenarios.
Yeah, and you know what? That's pack awareness, track awareness. So if the team's is learning to play with each other, these are the games you need to learn with.
And we're going to see Easy Bake Oven out there. She is the only jammer. And she was run outside by the one and only D-Vicious. And D-Vicious playing the games, staying within the range of the pack, and that's going to bring Easy Break. Yeah, you can really see where Easy Break Oven does have an awful lot of speed.
Yeah, she's got a burst of speed. She's strong on her skates. I've seen her at some camps in Western Canada recently.
And she's going to take... she's going to get the low block major call after she hits the ground. Oh, that's going to go to D-Vicious.
I think just because as the contact, as Easy Break came down to the floor, they were still making contact, or because it only takes a brush. It doesn't take much contact to get that low block major, and that's D-Vicious in the box again.
And Easy Break Up going to call that off, which only makes sense. At that point, she's going to keep them from scoring any points. As Twiggy had shot back out of the box. That's one of the few times we've actually seen the jammer come right out of the box and not sneak by everybody.
I don't think Twiggy's 100 pounds soaking wet.
No, I don't think so either. And
actually makes Stitch Ripper look like she's got a few pounds on her now, because Stitchy's pretty slim and trim too.
Yeah, I don't know who I'd wager against in that battle.
Stitchy's put up a fight today, shown up for every jam, and away she goes again, facing Helen Keller and
Lady Sadista.
Cheeky at the back. Yeah. Is that Winnie the Punta?
No, that's Lady
Sadista. Yeah, your lead jammer for Evil out of the pack.
But yeah, Stitch River just absolutely... Let's just say she's having a learning experience today. Oh, and she gets hit hard again going into the second turn. Now we've got Lady Sadista coming up on the back of the pack. She's actually going to go right by Stitch River, and look at that. Demolition Inc. totally unaware.
Untouched. Yeah, just not able to. Because they're skating the same. Evil's got them skating at such a slow pace.
Yes.
You can't match that speed when a fast jammer comes. You can only watch her go by.
Thank you. I wish I'd hear more people say that.
You've got to pick up your speed to match that skater. You're stationary.
Yeah, and that was a very visible tactic watching Terminal City and Kootenay play in their respective games today. And we've got Lady Sadista. She's going to put yet another lap on the pack. Stitch River has been bumped around and smashed, and has not even broken through the pack at this point.
I think it was an entire 2-minute jam. She did not get her initial pass.
And she's got to be exhausted.
That's going to take a wear and tear on somebody. Tron back at the line with Jane Awesome. Jane Awesome in gray wearing 118 for Oil City.
And Jane having had some success.
Yeah, probably one of the more successful jammers for Oil City today has been Jane Awesome. Tron's played a fabulous game for Evil today. I think for all around, probably their top player.
Yeah, I would have to agree.
Whistle's gone to start the jam. In case you didn't notice, you can see the clock running in the bottom right corner. Just no one's choosing to want to go because Oil City's delaying to get their blocker on, so they've got 4 blockers on. As Evil has their pivot Cheeky in the box, so there's a pack advantage for Oil City. The jammers are coming now. Jane Awesome tries to do a wig and wag on the inside outside. Now she's on the inside lane in lane 1. She's got one green skater to pass. She's bumping with her at the front. It's Kamikaze, or it's Kami.
Yeah, I tell you, Kami absolutely seals the inside line exactly as she should, but she was unable to be moved. In the meantime, you're going to see Tron then come through with a Trek Cut minor.
I think it's actually a forearm. Looks like
Oh, you're right.
A forearm minor keeps Tron from getting lead, but she is in scoring position, and she's picking up points now, passing gray shirts at the back of the pack, meeting some resistance, taking the outside lane forward, keeping her skates in bounds. She's got 2 more to pass. 1 more to pass. She's gone through the entire pack without lead, and she's got all those points plus the jammer. That's 5 without lead. Grand slams without lead. That's having control in the game.
Yeah, and while she's doing that, we've got Jane Awesome out there who is still trying to finish her first pass, and they finally are going to have to let her go as they get her. They are able to finally get outside the zone of engagement so she can get released. In the meantime, Tron comes right back through faster than you can even say Tron just came back through.
Yeah, and in that time, I'm watching the Oil City bench signaling madly to Jane to call it off because Jane actually had lead. Remember, Tron didn't have a lead in that jam.
Yep.
And it was time to shut it down. Just, again, tired. You know you're behind. It's hard to focus when the game's that far out of reach, right? And this is the learning curve stuff where you need to focus.
And we're going to see B Pressure and Winnie the Puta. And you know, the interview that we heard Andy with before, Skater, one of the first things she said was the communication, and that's very obvious from what's going on out here. As we're seeing it out of Evil, we're not seeing it out of Demolition Inc. And right now it's going to be Pressure is going to be forced to the outside. We've seen that all day long. And who's in front? Winnie the Puta.
Winnie the Puta. We've seen that all evening as well, too. Pressure forced out of bounds, has to return at the back of the pack behind the green wall. That's given him so much trouble today.
And Pressure with a nice spin off the back there. And again, Demolition City in the gray and black. And Pressure trying to work herself, trying to make that first pass. And she just can't seem to do it as they force her out of bounds. And Winnie the Puta comes through, once again, unfettered.
Winnie the Puta came through with a full head of steam, used her hands to push one of her blockers out of the way, and went untouched and unseen through that pack on that last go-around. And here she comes again for her second pass. And again, a couple of moves and gone.
Winnie the Puta really been impressive. Her and Tron, very similar types of jammers. Winnie maybe not quite as physical in the way that she approaches it, but still they both have a very similar style of skating. As in, it works.
Yeah, as it works really well, especially today.
Yeah.
203 now, over 200 points for Evil now, 13 for Oil City. Easy Break Oven on the line next to
Twiggy.
A shrunken version of Easy Break named Twiggy. There's about a foot differential there. Now that should exclude her from getting lead, I think.
It looked like they would have been close enough.
Depends if they're in the engagement zone or not. It's got to be outside of the engagement zone. Easy Break.
Oh, it looked like Easy Break was going to spin out of it, but Kamikaze ends up running her out of bounds.
And taking a major for that. And Easy Break's going for a forearm major.
Oh. And so right now, I think Twiggy there, that was self-preservation. As Twiggy saw a pancake block coming.
Yeah, some of those blockers out there might look at using Twiggy for a toothpick.
Yeah. And Twiggy is out there all by her lonesome. And but, you know, Damage Inc. this time has got a full load of blockers out there. Oh, Twiggy sent flying across the inside, ends up wiping out one of the other blockers.
It's like some majors were called right there. I'm just trying to pay attention to
I know.
Multiple whistles and majors being called at the end of that jam. Just trying to pay attention to what the box. We'll keep an eye on the penalty box to see who ends up in there.
I do believe that was a flying Superman with a backseat grab and a knack-knack, however.
That's one of my favorite sandwiches at Subway. 203-13 for Evil. 190-point lead. We also want to thank, no, never mind. Let's go. It's a power jam start for Evil. And I'm watching our pack ref, our head ref, hand out destroying the pack and out of play majors and or minors on both packs because Evil's sitting back. Now they've got a trap. So now the pack is back there. You can see them at a standstill.
Lady Sadista already put up a grand slam, 5 full points. And yeah, he's checking. That was a good check. He checks with the outside ref to make sure that she stays in bounds. She does. That's 10.
Yeah, that's Noah Backtalk and Pam Terra both having a look at her skates and checking the lines. Untouched through the pack
That
again.
was a sweet move. Gets herself just a little sideways and runs to daylight.
Yeah, she made herself suddenly disappear for a second in that pack. Lots of speed. She's just using nothing but speed around that track to nail some more points on the wall.
That's
for Evil.
I believe that's 4. She puts up 14, I'm pretty sure.
So, hey, we want to thank one of our big sponsors. That's New Derby. We want to thank one of our big new sponsors here
Who would
on
that
Derby
be?
TV. Holy Crap, the world's most amazing breakfast cereal. Find out more at www.holycrap.com. That's right, Holy Crap. It is the world's most amazing breakfast cereal.
Lots of fiber.
That's right.
A Stitch Ripper and Winnie the Pooh. Only you would read that.
Yes. Blessed by the Pope. Holy crap. Hey, we got a lead jammer.
Oh,
it's a
there we
gray shirt.
go.
And it's Stitch Ripper. Stitch Ripper has lead. Talk about never giving up. Stitch Ripper has lead, and now she's going for points. Nice dekes. She's down at her knees. She's got to get up. Oh, and unfortunately, the wall there, Foil City can't keep back the jammer who doesn't have lead and gives up 4 points doing it. And that's Winnie the Pooh again, tagging more points on the board.
Yeah, all in all, she's just another bird slamming into the wall and a picture window.
Yeah, even Stitch, like right at the end of that jam, she's calling it off, and she still gets abused by the Evil skaters. They are not letting up at all.
I'll tell you, luggage doesn't get beaten that badly.
Holy crap, that was a hit. Speaking of holy crap, it is the most amazing breakfast cereal ever. www.holycrap.com. See the sign? You thought I was kidding. It's the real thing, Bob. It's actually .ca, by the way. Holycrap.ca, please. www.holycrap.ca.
Hey guys, I'm sitting here with Beretta Lynch. She's the captain of the Kootenay Cannibals from the West Kootenay Women's Roller Derby Association League of Organization. Yep. Was that right? So let's talk about the game you had earlier today. You had a sound win against Okanagan Shuswap. So their team you guys are familiar with. I'm sure you guys just lived down the road, relatively speaking, in BC terms. But the win was significant. So tell me a little bit how about that went down.
We played them in April, and we had a significant win then as well. And so they came back this time with a little more fire under their bellies than we had before. So there was several jams where we really lost some of our cohesion. But then that pushes you to pull it together even tighter and faster the next time. So yeah, it was a great game. I think they played really well. They're happy with how they played, and we're really excited to play Red Deer tomorrow.
Oh yeah, they look great today. That's going to be a great game.
Yeah, we have a little bit of a rivalry with Red Deer. We played them a few times last year at Westerns. We lost by like 3 or 4 points. And then we scrimmaged against them earlier this year, and it was a tight game. So tomorrow's going to be awesome.
Yeah, really looking forward to it. Thanks, Lynch. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Andy. And we're going to see Tron off the line. She's going to be your lead jammer.
And she takes a cut and heads to the box. Tron's had a lot of majors today. That was, by the way, Beretta Lynch, another member of Team Canada here this weekend. There's actually, I believe, 7 skaters in total, 6 or 7 skaters in total that skated for Team Canada in December, represented on the different teams here. Again, speaking to the strength of Derby in the West and how it's taken off. But now, speaking of taking off, Easy Break's got a power jam. And she's lost a toe stop?
Yeah,
or a part?
I was going to say, I think it's the light bulb.
Unfortunately, this is the time.
I think the filament
the light
burned
bulb
out.
in the Easy Break oven has broken. Is that is burned out, Bob? But you know what?
She's not lead jammer, I take it.
This is she is actually. Well, maybe she's not. Because it would be time to call it off, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
But I seem to see our jammer pointing at her. Let's see if we come back again. Great penalty kill here by Evil, though. Still hasn't had a chance to get out of that pack, and she's going to take a beating around those corners. Oh no! There, Bob and I were cheering along for her as it happened right in the corner in front of us. She kept her feet up.
Yeah, exactly. No, she. That's going to be a
fourth
cut. Yeah,
fourth minor. As Rez adjudicator signals her fourth minor and sends her off.
Oh, Tron.
Tron.
What a marvelous counter block right there.
Just leaned back into it. It took the power out of that hit.
I mean, when you're talking about as powerful, Vixen von Brusen coming in and laying in you like that and being able to totally counter, that's pretty amazing.
Oh, and a bit of a pileup at the back of the pack. Is there a back block in there anywhere? Yeah, it's being called, and Tron is heading off for the back block. Who got it? Nope. Not sure who it was. Bit of a pileup at the end of that, but I'm see who sits in the box. Easy Break Oven still fixing her skate in the box over there. So yeah, when your skates break, when any kind of equipment fails, you've got to fix it yourself. However, toe stops are not considered part of your safety equipment, so you can actually leave a toe stop and keep skating if you're comfortable skating without toe stops. A lot of skaters are not, because they use that for a break, they use it to run on, they use it for agility. Other parts that are broken or damaged, you have to leave the track and fix it. So Easy Break had an option there to keep skating, but clearly wanted to have that toe stop because that's a tool in their toolkit. And there's a cut minor called on the jammer for Evil, so she's not going to get lead. And there's only a 5-skater pack out here total, 3 green and 2 gray. I think that's Lady Sadista coming around, I believe. And that's about her second or third pass. Lady Sadista, nice work. Easy Break Oven gets on the track, gets lead, and shuts it off. 2:43 to 16, Evil leading Oil City. With 8 minutes remaining here in the last game of today's bracket action, Oil City, Damage Inc. and Evil, the two teams from Edmonton here going at it. Slow starting this jam, 8 minutes left. Long and far game over here for Oil City, but no give up in this team whatsoever. And there's Stitch out there again, I believe, battling her way through, but so is Winnie the Puta. Trips and falls. Whistles are being blown about a low block. Not sure who got it. Looks like it was Bam Bam, number 88 for Oil City. She heads off the track in turn 4, and that is Bam Bam skating down the side. The pack coming down towards turn 4. At the front, it's Winnie the Buddha fighting her way out. More skaters falling in that corner. Just a bit of a pile-up. But it's Winnie the Buddha that comes out. And because that Oil City jammer is still held up, that makes it a grand slam. Another 5 points tacked on the board for Evil. Oh, easy pass on the outside. Nice work by Winnie as she just grabbed one of her own skaters by the hip and pulled herself through. Winnie the Buddha skating into turns 1 and 2. Another 5 points. Big hit by Tough Love in the back of the pack as Stitch Ripper right in front of us did a 360 roll, got right back up on her feet. She takes a beating and keeps on going. Stitch Ripper now finally out of the pack, but without lead because it's Winnie the Puta that has lead. D Vicious going for another major. And Winnie the Puta calling that jam off. D Vicious has got to be getting close to the point of, oh no, I believe if that's D's 7th trip, she's ejected. And yeah, D Vicious ejected from the game. once you get 7 majors, you're done for the day. You've got to leave the track and leave the area. So with 6 minutes left, someone will have to sit in the penalty box and serve her 1 minute. .257. 16 is the score right now. A bit of a differential, so it will be Evil versus Terminal City tomorrow at 2 o'clock on this track. As well as, let's just check and see because we can update everything that's going to happen tomorrow now. So our first game tomorrow will be at 10 a.m. and that will be Lethbridge, Alberta's travel team, Deathbridge, playing your in gray here right now, Oil City, which is Damage Inc. They're playing at 10 a.m. tomorrow on this track and on DerbyCanuckTV.com. Also, followed at noon will be Calgary Roller Derby versus OSRDA, Okanagan Shoe Swap. And they'll be playing at noon. And then the next game, 2 p.m. Saturday, Terminal City Roller Girls, the number 1 seed going into this tournament, will be playing Evil, the number 4 seed, at 2 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock, number 2 plays number 3, Red Deer Roller Derby and the Kootenay Cannibals. Great games. There's going to be some fantastic games tomorrow afternoon. Both sides of these brackets. The championship will be played at 11:30 a.m. on Sunday, and even the teams that don't make it through to the final will play in a third, fourth place match because everyone's going to come out of here seated in the West. Based on where they came in, they're going to come out with a different seating possibly, and that's Sunday at 9 a.m. So we've got 2 games Sunday and 4 more games tomorrow. Pardon me, 5 more games tomorrow because there is a 5th and 6th place game at 6 o'clock tomorrow. So if you're watching this and couldn't get down here and you're in the region, this area, you've got to get your tickets and get in down here. There's 5 games tomorrow. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Mac. I see you lost your partner.
Yes.
He may have fallen in.
He may have fallen and he can't get up.
Oh, no.
Bob probably landed on his bad hip.
Someone call the EMT, please. EMT to the men's washroom.
That's right. So, Andy, some interesting scores today. I actually expected Oil City, and clearly there's been a bit of changes in their team and their lineup and their skaters.
I've seen a couple other scores like this from coming out of Edmonton this season. I feel like maybe Oil City's had some turnover.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of fresh skaters on their team, clearly with less experience. Evil, and every year getting stronger and stronger. We've played them a couple times in the past. Always put up a good challenge, but they're clearly keeping up with skills and strategy. So we're seeing that today on the track.
Looks like a bit of a dance-off going on as we get things ready here.
There's some serious dancing skills out there. Did you see that spin?
That was very nice.
Drag step dolly just like took everyone to school on the spin there.
So penalties a bit of an issue for Evil. I mean, with a lead this big, they got to be cautious going into the next brackets, I think, about penalties because Oil City was unable to take advantage of those power jams, or there'd be a very different score.
Yeah, Oil City had a lot of opportunity with power jams and stuff. Unfortunately, their Evil's defense was too strong. But like you said, they're taking a lot of penalties. They were not going to get away with that tomorrow with Terminal City. Terminal City has been working on their power plays, as you know.
Yes.
It's been key to a lot of the games that they've played this year. So, hopefully they'll be able to stay out of the box more tomorrow.
And there's someone you were just talking to, Beretta Lynch there, talking with her hands. The captain of the Kootenay Cannibals watching this. Kootenay, the host of this tournament, putting this whole thing on. Great venue, beautiful city, fabulous day.
Like, I love me some roller derby, Mac, but the sun is shining, the lake is sparkling, the mountains are glorious. I wish you guys all could be here with us. It's so beautiful.
Yeah, this should have been the retractable roof game because I'd love to be outside right now. It's beautiful.
We can go later and enjoy the outdoors, Mac.
Yes, we are, because when this is over, I'm leaving.
Like going home?
No. Just going to get out of here, have some dinner, sit outside.
I thought you meant go back to Vancouver, and I think we need you tomorrow.
Not till Sunday.
Okay, good.
No. We're all here. We're sticking around.
You don't have to play sports tomorrow. You can drink beer, too. Me and you on the patio. It's a date.
Hey, how come I'm not invited?
You're invited, too. Please join us.
I will.
We can drink beer in front of all the athletes and rub it in their faces.
I'm from Wisconsin.
Oh, yeah. You can teach us a thing or two.
That's where they made beer.
We invented it.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Where the men are men and sheep are nervous, Bob.
You guys are like the
Wisconsin.
apple of beer. You didn't invent it, but you made it better.
I'll take that.
Easy break oven on the line. Jamming for Oil City. We're getting ready to start here. We got 6 minutes left and a 242-point lead.
You don't get to say that very often, do you, Mac?
No, not in my outside voice. I didn't catch the jammer for Oil City, actually, but holy smoke, she just pounded her way through the pack. Easy break.
Easy break, yeah.
I got easy break.
You can
but
tell
I
by those long legs.
was trying to catch the jammer. Sorry, jammer for evil. Pardon me.
Oh, that's drag strip Dolly.
That is Dolly. That's what I thought. She got something shiny on her back. It's hard to see her name.
She's one of those skaters I love to watch because she's not the smallest girl on the track, but boy, is she light on her feet.
With power, too. She skates with power when she pushes through there.
She reminds me of an old friend of mine, Mac. Her name is, she used to play for the Pussycats. Former figure skater.
Emma, blonde.
Come on.
I know who you mean. Michelle.
Yes.
Shell Shock.
That's right, Shell Shock.
Apparently playing in the Sunshine Coast, I heard a rumor.
Oh, that's fantastic. I'm
Or
so glad she's
At least
still
moving up there and being enticed by the Sunshine Coast girls.
playing. They'll bring her back in.
Love to see her play again.
It's like the mob. You can never get out.
Look at that hit. She took that hit from Bam Bam, just got up on one skate and rode it through right by the tape, staying bound. She hasn't actually slowed her pace since she's had lead. She just keeps skating around at the same pace. And again.
Wow. Very impressive jam by Dragstep Dolly.
Yeah.
No, I think this is the first time we've seen her jam, isn't it?
I want more.
Again, taking that inside lane.
I mean, really, there's only so much you can do when you've got 4-on-2 blockers, but still.
Yeah, 4-on-2 and no jammer, and Oil struggled just to put up that defensive side, so when they're shorthanded, it just gets that much tougher for them.
Yeah, Oil City would be smart just to, even though they've only got 2 blockers on the track, to stay together and maybe even slow down the jammer a little bit.
Yeah. And her fourth minor, no. Did she go in the box? Oh, no, she did not. Dragstep seemed to be looking at the referee to indicate if she got her fourth minor, but no. 286-17.
And Stitch Ripper is just ready to go.
And beside her yet again is Tron.
These two must be getting to know each other very well in this game.
I think Christmas cards will be exchanged.
I think so.
I think Stitch Ripper has an inverted 8 tattooed on her arm in several places from the hits she's taken from Tron as well as the rest of this pack. We've been cheering Stitch Ripper to get out of that pack for lead. She got it once today, I think.
Twice.
Thanks, Bob. Helen Keller at the back of the pack, and there's that green wall. They just cycle forward and keep holding. Which gets Tron out of the pack and gives Tron lead. As indicated by Jeff Dennis Prime. Meanwhile, Wheezy Ryder, a ref here, indicates where the pack is. As Tron approaches it, looking for points, and Gray's, now Gray's making a nice wall at the front, and that's giving Stitcher an opportunity to get out. Some calls being made, though, in the pack. Some forearms.
Some nice recycling by Evil in this jam. They keep making their way up to the front.
Yeah, meanwhile, Helen Keller is putting a beat down on a Oil City blocker at the back of the pack, trying to set that pack up. Nice move by Tron to slide him beside Blood Gin and Vixen Von Brusen. Grand slam for Tron as we get down to just about the 2-minute mark in this game.
Oh, there's a nice slide off by Tron right there.
Big smile by Tron as she calls off that jam. She got another Grand Slam. She should be happy with her performance in that jam. Holy crap.
Speaking of holy crap, we want to thank Holy Crap, the world's most amazing breakfast cereal. Find out more at www.holycrap.ca. It's interesting when you say, I'd like to give a big thanks to Holy Crap.
Why wouldn't you?
Bob
Just generally.
Exactly. That's a high fiver.
I'd like to thank a Holy Crap.
Yeah.
It's always a good thing.
That's when you got the Pope involved.
So
it's
we got
Holy Crap.
1 minute 33 seconds left on the period clock. Scores 300-17 for Evil.
And 98 pounds of Twiggy gets out there. Oh, sent to the box for a forearm. Unfortunate. Twiggy had battled the way through that pack. We got to wait for a jammer to come back on, and it's Stitch. Stitch and Twiggy together almost weigh as much as one blocker. Stitch out there. Let's see if Oil City can set up some sort of strategy to help get her out of that pack. They're trying to play. Oh, nice hit by Bam Bam at the back of the pack there. Stitch not having any help getting out there. Kamikaze holds her up. Nice job by Kami to cycle right to the front from the back of that pack and put the brakes on. Oh, and a big, huge hit in the turn here by Kami. Kami and Peaches just making life miserable for Stitches. I just can't believe the amount of hits and beatdowns she's taken. She keeps getting up and skating back into it like, okay, let's do some more. Twiggy's out.
Yeah, Evo's favoring the front wall in these last few jams, which is doing a lot for them because not only does the Oil City jammer have to make her way through her own players in the back, she then has to contend with the wall in the front.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, something they need to learn is Stitch keeps taking the outside and getting pounded for it. She's got to go inside on that track because they're setting her up to take that outside lane and take that hit.
They really are. And taking the outside line is really tempting, especially for a new jammer, because you feel like, oh, look, there's all that space there, and I can just skate around. But getting hit on the outside is a lot more violent and a lot harder to recover from than getting hit on the inside. So it's a hard instinct to fight when you're a new jammer.
You bet. And the score, the clock is run down. This game is going to end on this jam, it looks like. That should be the end of it right there. I've got a 3:15:17 here. We're going to get an official score and get it updated for you. So
I have a feeling, though, it won't change the outcome.
Holy crap, what a score, too. Just like the cereal. So we're going to stick with 3:15:17 for Evil, and that's Evil moving on tomorrow for 2 o'clock game against Turtle City All-Stars.
Let's take a look-see.
Edmonton's Damage Inc. from Oil City congratulating Evil after that game and our last game today. So make sure you join us tomorrow. What do we got, Andy? We have a game starting at 10 a.m. tonight.
Oh, bright and early for those girls. No beers on the patio for them tonight.
That's right. That's the price you pay when you lose in your first bracket. You get up earlier. I've been there many times.
The winners get the nice, cushy afternoon slots.
So join us at 10 a.m. tomorrow for our first game, and then a game every 2 hours with 5 games tomorrow, every 2 hours from 10 a.m. on. It's going to be a full day. Are you going to be here?
I'm going to be here with bells on.
Yes.
And for our viewers all across this great land of Canada, that's 10 a.m. Pacific time.
Thank you. That's right.
And hey, guys, I've got myself an interview.
All right, let's hear it.
Well, I'd like to. I've got 30 at 30 with me. That can only be pell mell from the West Kootenay Cannibals. And first off, pell mell, I want to say congratulations on your win today.
Thank you very much.
I tell you, it's amazing what a year has brought. I mean, a year ago, you guys come into the best of the West. You could end up the darlings of the tournament. Nobody really knew what to expect. And then this year, just that much better.
Yeah, we were definitely the underdogs last year, and we just trained really hard. We have awesome coaches. We work really well as a team. We're all friends on and off the track.
And well, it's interesting that you say that. How important is that? Because to me, that kind of camaraderie really translates on the track, doesn't it?
It definitely does. When you know you're with your friends, you can trust them, you love and respect them in every way, then you just play awesome together.
And speaking of playing awesome, the thing that struck me the most about what you guys did this year is your offense to defensive transition was spot on, and obviously that is a very difficult thing to master.
It was, but there's pivots out there, but everybody on our team's a pivot. We all work together so that everybody's watching and looking to see when those people are what needs to be done.
And, well, congratulations on a great day, a great game. We look forward to seeing you play again tomorrow, and maybe we'll go from darlings to champions?
I hope so.
Well, good luck to you. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks, Bob. So that's going to do it for us here at CanuckDerbyTV.com. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching today.